What's up, Pittsburgh Steelers fans? It is Matty P and Marky D. How you doing, Marky D?
Man, I'm doing all right, but I'm a bit cold. I don't know about
Right.
you. A bit cold over this way.
But
On
it's an
the
interesting... So I wanted to blow your mind with this, right?
yes,
Usually
ready.
we record in the future
Here
and
we go.
we go live in the future and people watch us in the past, right? So usually this show, which everyone's listening to now, is Saturday morning for us, Friday night for the US. But because I had to get a flight this week, we're recording on our Thursday night, which is actually Thursday morning in the US. It's just gone after 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time by the time that we're recording. So actually, the people that are watching this are watching something in the past that was recorded in the future to begin with. How trippy is that, man?
Hold up, wait a minute. So they're watching on Friday.
Friday night.
Recorded on Thursday, which is now airing on Saturday in Australia.
Correct.
There you go. It's the first. And we'll be going for 6 hours.
Usually, right, they listen to it. It's their Friday, our Saturday. But right now, we're both in the same time zone on the same day in the Thursday that we're recording. So we're all together in the same universe for one time, and then we scrambled it, and people are watching it when it's like two different. So it's literally TDU in the multiverse.
Sometimes I feel like I just wish we lived in America. It'll be easier to get all the news, because really we are 15 hours in front, but 9 hours behind, right? Because the Alex Highsmith stuff last night.
Well, that's the Highsmith one, a good example, right? Today, right? So last night for us, that happened. I woke up this morning. I had a very early meeting. My time was with the US, so I started work at 7:45. So I had a 7:45 a.m. meeting my time with America. And then by the time I got a break, it was like 11:30. And then I had my phone. Oh, Alex Highsmith signed with the Steelers. And so then I rushed to get a video out really quickly for everyone, which people can go back and listen to if they missed it. But as you're right, it's just kind of, whereas you got it because you were up when it happened.
I was going to bed. I was like, this close to going to bed. I was like, did that really happen? I'm like, oh, that really happened. I just tried to make one.
So what did you think about it?
I'm keen. I tell you.
What did you think about the money and stuff? Because I was pretty on it with my prediction 2 weeks ago when I did the 20-minute show on Alex Highsmith.
What was your prediction with the money?
So I said I said he would get anywhere between 64 and 72 million. I didn't think it was worth the 72. And then the contract I specifically had was like 69.3 million, and they signed him for 68. So that's pretty close. You're talking hundreds of thousands of difference over 4 years.
So what's he getting per year? 14 million per year?
No, he's getting 17 per year.
17 per year. Because I do know there's a few camps out there saying they paid too much for him. I actually like
they paid a little bit too. They paid about $1 million, 1.8 million too much. If you're going off pure stats, if you're not going off promise he's got to show, if you're going off stats, his baseline, they're about 1.8 over. But the thing is that 17 million a year now for a pass rusher is like 21 million in 2 or 3 years' time. So actually, they're kind of prepaying now for what he'll be worth later. I think it's a bloody good deal.
But isn't it good to have just consistency at that position now? That you have TJ Watt till he retires, Alex Highsmith for 4 years. Then once TJ retires,
well, no. So TJ's off contract in 2028. I think it is.
Really? So we've got them 4 years together, 5 years together.
Yeah, that's right.
That's not bad. I think it's great to have that. That reminds me of the 08 defense when you had Debo and Lamar Woodley.
Well, and the odds are this. Hopefully it's not, but who knows what Highsmith could be in 4 years' time? We could go get someone else that's cheaper, right? Maybe we don't want to invest in that because we've got to re-sign TJ. You don't know what's going to happen. But as I said on the show that I did about the breaking kind of going through it, it's at least you lock him up for Kenny Pickett's rookie deal.
Yes.
Winning.
I got a question for you. Do you think more people would whinge and complain if they didn't sign him?
Yeah.
Yeah, same. So do I. So I think it's a good thing, right?
And what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Trade him for a pick that we wouldn't get till next April. What are you going to get for him? A second? You're not going to get a first. So you get a second. And then who knows what that pass rush is going to be like. This is guaranteed production. But people do have to remember, he only has 25 sacks. This isn't a guy with 50 sacks. So
I think it's a good deal because now
that's a great deal.
You don't have to look at that position now for 4 years. You have that.
And think about it with Bud too, right? We wanted Bud for I think it was 16.8 over 5 plus bonus. I think Bud's contract was like 72 million because they owed him a 4 or 5 year deal or something like that. But like Bud didn't sign that. Highsmith's deal's not more than Bud's, and I think Highsmith has only 2 or 3 less sacks than Bud had at the time after 5 years because of all the injuries. So this is actually a really good deal.
So what's that? So when the contract ends, will he be playing for 8 years in Pittsburgh? I think, was it?
No. So 4 year. Yeah, 8. Yeah,
Eight. So that's not bad for Highsmith.
It's a 4-year extension. So think about it. He's signed for another 5 seasons because he was signed for this year already. Last year of his rookie deal, and then he's got the 4-year extension. So 5 more seasons. So 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026, 2027.
That's good to me. I think it's a good move by Alex as well. Like staying in Pittsburgh and like having a chance.
But I want to see the money too. Like this is what I said on the show. That whereas when I did the show 2 weeks ago, I had about $3.5 million in roster performance bonuses. We don't know what this contract looks like yet, and that could be part of it. All we've heard is 27.7 million in bonuses, and then the rest isn't, obviously. And we've heard 38 million over the first 2, so it's an average of 19. It's probably more like something like 17 or 16, and then like 21 kind of thing. But yeah, I think if you're a Steeler fan, you've got 2 bookend pass rushers. Like, what more do you want? And you've got Benton, on the interior, who's like a rookie as well on a deal there. We just need to keep filling that over the next few years. We've got Liao as well. Like, they're getting cheap at expensive positions. And remember, I talked about this like 2 or 3 months ago, like with getting Broderick Jones and getting Joey Porter. A top cornerback and a top tackle are expensive players. Same with Pickens, top wide receiver. We're getting cheaper at the core positions. It's huge. And remember, Kenny Pickett as well. He was first-round draft pick. You can put him on a 5th-year option. Now, they'll be smarter when we get to that point to say, all right, Kenny, we're not going to do 5th-year option. We're just going to extend your contract, but we're going to pay you a little bit less. Hopefully, they can be smart in how those numbers work. So pay him more in that 5th-year option than what he would have. So pay him more in that 5th year than what he would have got with the option. But you're not going to get necessarily as much over the other years as if you could if you had taken the 5th-year option and then you're taking money.
So the Steelers have also paid. They paid Minka, right, as well, didn't they, for a contract, didn't they? Last year?
So Minka's on for another 5 years, but they restructured his contract. So they move money around, but basically he's there for another 5 years.
It's not a bad defense, I don't think, to work around this. Minka, TJ, Cam in there for 2.
Joey Porter's there for 4.
Yeah.
Trice is there for 4. Trice is there for 4.
I like the overall.
The big one next year is if they can go out and get a strong safety in next year's draft, that's like a top strong safety. This defense is, or a top inside linebacker. This team's going to be like rock solid.
Because then you have them on the rookie deal, right? And you have the other guys on their big. Yeah, okay. Sounds like we're building blocks, mate. They're building something. Oh, my Khan's cooking.
The Legos are out. They're building. It's so I've got a few things for you. So it's going to be a bit of a. I like licorice, but like a licorice all sorts for the show today. I saw an Instagram post this week, and it said that the Pittsburgh Steelers are 6th in the league for the most international fans with 38.6%.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And I call BS on that, man. I reckon it's a lot higher than that.
Yeah, I saw that on Facebook too. I think the 49ers were the biggest one, at number 1 being 50%. I don't think it's the 49ers. If we're 6 are pretty high, I think the Mexico fans are like about 10%, but I'd even say more, actually. I think they're pretty high. Obviously, got us here in Australia. We know individually quite a few people. The page on Facebook, I know a few people here. You walk around town, I think Steelers are pretty big in Australia. They're big in New Zealand. They're big in Germany. Europe. They're big in Europe and in England, that kind of stuff. I think in Ireland too, they just got a network there over there too. I'd say it's probably bigger than 6. But the 49ers are number 1 for some reason. Maybe that's because the early success that they had, like, was it the 80s or whatever when they won their Super Bowls?
Yeah.
I think. So, what else? I think Green Bay was up there too. I think maybe the Packers might have been up there too.
The Packers are up there. Packers are usually in Australia as well. We see that because of the colours are similar to our national colours with, the green and the gold and the white and that sort of stuff. So I want to get your take on that. The other one was I saw... And you put it up as well on Twitter. I saw it earlier in the day, but the Saquon Barkley video with the black and gold.
Saw that?
Yeah, man. But,
I don't take Twitter seriously at all.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Do you know what I found funny about that? Like, I was more like listening to that podcast. It's like, he was talking about the running back position, and I do agree. I do agree that running backs have been overly devalued. I also, now with NIL, a lot of them are getting paid a lot of money. Like Bijan Robinson, who was top running back in this draft, was like on a $6 million a year deal, like, and was sponsored by Lamborghini in Texas. Like, the guy got some cash. But I do think it's kind of interesting with these running backs and their role in the game today. Like, and I wanted to get your take on, like, because he said maybe I just won't go play, and then how are we going to go? And I think it's kind of interesting to see, like, how does that change an offense, and how is this going to go in swings and roundabouts? But, like, I don't know. This is how the market's working. Like, and those guys get injured. Like, it's. I see both sides of the coin, but I want to get your.
I have a theory on this. Though. I have a theory, right? A lot of the guys that are speaking up right now are the first round running backs asking for all the money, all the coin, and they're wondering why the average is so low. It's because the other three guys on the roster are getting nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Correct.
Right? The second down running back, third running back, fourth guy on the practice squad, they're getting nothing. That is why your average is so low at 1.6 million. Even Najee was like, yeah, man, got to pay him. You're paying kickers more than running backs. In this certain point, I would say the kickers are more valuable than the set of running backs because they get points, they can kick game winners, they can have positional play as well, but you need them to score points. With running backs, I'm sorry, just got to run the football and you have a good offensive line. But what I do find funny the most is the star running back is complaining or saying, you're not paying us enough money, but they're only talking about themselves at number one. Are you talking for the collective of saying, well, number four should be getting more money? Should number four be getting $4 million? Or should number four be getting the normal 920K?
Because I have an idea. This brings up an idea that I briefly talked about last offseason, which was if you are a running back selected in the draft at that position, because you've had to have more miles on your legs in college, you get paid more. Right? So it doesn't matter what round you're in, you get a bonus for being a running back. That's what they should freaking do. That's how they could do it. Now, people say that's unfair because some people just designate themselves a running back, but that's one way to get around it. But you're right on those averages. We saw this with tight ends. For how many years did tight ends make no money? Now tight ends make money.
I just found it just for a small case because Najee's on his rookie deal, right? Yeah. But according to Spot Track, Najee is getting base salary, I guess, per year is 1.8. Anthony McFarland 940.
What's their bonus though? What's Najee's bonus? Because he remember as a first round draft pick, his bonus is higher.
Yeah, 1.7, right?
But then next year it goes way up.
Yeah, but even when they get the big deal, that's what I'm saying. When they get the big deal, are you gonna cater to the other guy, the other running backs like McFarland, Warren, or Huntley, or Graham, and say what's their worth? Because no, they won't get the money. They're only talking about the number one position, which is them. The Barkley is the other guy, Elliott, and those dudes that didn't get signed. They're not representing every single running back. They're just representing the number one guy.
But but some of these guys haven't performed. Elliott hasn't performed at the level required for that contract. He's done.
He's done. He's so slow.
The one that I think Dalvin Cook was a little bit.
Who was it? Was it Saquon Barkley? I look up his numbers against his mates.
He was injured. He spent 2 years out of his 5 years out of the game.
Then why is he carrying on?
Exactly. Lamar made the right choice.
So, oh my goodness. So he's getting what, $10 million or something like that this year?
Yeah, and he's cranky because he wants like a $15 million per for like 5
years.
Okay,
here it is then. So he's getting $10 million. Matt Breed is getting 1.1 this year. Gary Brightwell, whoever that guy is, getting 940. Eric Gray getting 750. Jason Corbin getting 750. So are you speaking for yourself being number one position, or are you speaking the whole collective? Therefore, the average comes down. Therefore, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
that's what I think anyway. This might be a problem. I'm not. People are saying the team hate Najee. I don't hate Najee, but it could be a bit of a. They'll figure it out, though. I think they'll figure it out. But it could be a discussion in 2 or 3 years' time.
But I'll sit there and ask you: is it like is Najee worth $10 million a year? No, he's not.
You know what the Steelers will do if it becomes a Le'Veon Bell situation? The Steelers won't care. The Steelers will do what they want to do. They're gonna go with someone else. They'll find someone else. This is the same point where I was happy with Highsmith doing this because Highsmith made the decision to stay with Pittsburgh. The contract is good for both sides. If Najee is cranky, I'm not saying he is. If he is cranky in 2-3 years, then you move on. You find someone. But if Najee is happy to find a good result and getting paid fairly for both sides, then you're right.
Yeah.
The running backs are a bit. I can see where they're saying they're doing all the hard work, this kind of stuff, but the average of one.
They also don't have to do. They don't have to do what Bettis had to do, and Sanders had to do, and Peyton had to do, and being a running back in 2023 is a very different proposition to being a running back early 2000s and pre-2000s.
Did I miss it? Did you say before the highest paid running back was Lamar Jackson? Is that what you said last time? He's getting 100.
I was joking.
Shouldn't the average be higher then?
Yeah, exactly.
20 million a season, but it's right though, right? So they're lobbying for something or trying to push a narrative that kickers get more, but there's only one kicker per team, and the kickers you have to pay the kickers. Like, I don't say pay them a lot, but pay them enough. But then
that's the thing. How many? Unless you're a running back that averages over a touchdown a game, right, for 6 points, a kicker is usually going to be averaging more points than you are a season. So why are they getting paid less? Why?
Yeah, there might have been a different way to go about it than say the average running back price, because everyone together.
Especially when you're one of the ones that A, kept with your team, and B, got paid the most amount of money and sit in the double digits for the millions.
It's like the guys in the background going, well, the reason why it's low, mate, is because they're paying you the money. The three guys in the background saying,
and when listeners listen to this, you guys, why are you talking about Saquon Barkley? But Najee's going in his third year. Next year, the Steelers are going to have to make a decision about the fifth-year option. Like, this is actually a real discussion the Steelers are going to have.
Yeah, but it's true. Like, there's
if anything, Najee should be counting his lucky stars that Warren is something, because that might mean that they sign him on a fifth-year option and then do like a franchise tag, and then that's it. That's 7 years for Najee.
There is a few people that I've seen on the Facebook Twitters that they're not happy with Najee and their team against Najee. I'm like,
nah, like that's a
dumb.
stretch.
That's dumb.
That's stupid.
But he's having his opinion, and I get it. But then we have ours back, and we say, well, running backs right now are very, very replaceable. It's part of the position. The big stars do get the money. Maybe they're not getting the huge money, but they're getting more than the average running back, like the practice squad guy.
But also, why should a running back? I'm sorry, but why should a running back make more on average? Because some of them are making more than an offensive lineman. Because the offensive lineman creates the hole for you and protects the quarterback. The offensive lineman should get paid more money than you.
You think the stuff with Le'Veon Bell kind of like stirred this conversation when he started to go?
But the problem with Le'Veon Bell for a lot of these running backs is Le'Veon Bell wanted to be paid as a top running back and a wide receiver 2. If he had thought about it from wide receiver 3, he would have got the money. The Steelers offered him that money, right? But some of these other running backs make out that they deserve Le'Veon Bell money, and they did nothing compared to what Le'Veon did in the pass catching game. Like, the only one that I think is comparable is Alvin Kamara, right? Like, lights out. But Saquon, I know he can do stuff in the receiving game, but he's not Kamara or Le'Veon Bell. So, and going back to the Steelers, Najee isn't that either. Certainly not. That's not Najee's game.
But what about you said the other running backs in the day? That in the 90s or in the early 2000s, did they ever complain about this stuff? Did they ever complain about the more money stuff? They just kind of ran the football, right? The Frank Gores of the world just got their contract and played. You know what I mean? I think it was Rich Eisen talked about this. Sorry, it wasn't Rich Eisen. One of the blokes from Steelers radio said there was a collective bargaining agreement never came up until now. It hasn't come up till now.
Exactly.
Why didn't it come up in the future? Why didn't it come up? Sorry, in the past. Now it's a big issue. Then one player has something wrong with it. Then all the running backs jump on the train.
But that's the other thing too, as well. How many positions on the average depth chart are 4 deep? It's not quarterback. It's not tackle. It's wide receiver, running back, cornerback, maybe middle, maybe inside linebacker. That's it, right?
So is Saquon Barkley the new Le'Veon Bell then this year?
Well, maybe he should have a chat to Le'Veon Bell, because Le'Veon Bell's all sorry all of a sudden.
I reckon he's doing that to get back in the good books to promote himself again.
I think he wants the Steelers to sign him so he retires a Steeler. That's what I think.
Okay.
Not for to play, for those 1-day contracts. That's what I think.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. You want them to get their money in coin, but it does seem to be, I don't know. It's not a huge issue when I think they're rallying behind the wrong thing about the average being too low, which is a representation of 4 or 5 running backs, not just one.
Yeah.
So let's hope that Najee has a good year. Well, I don't agree with the Steel fans who are saying, "Oh, Najee sucks, and we don't need that kind of guy in the locker room." No, he's having an opinion. He's having an opinion, and he's going to go. He'll probably run harder now because he's pissed off. And probably.
Well, I mean, the thing is that like Najee just needs to focus on the season. Like he started slow last year, and we saw we saw what that meant, right? Like ultimately. So yeah. Also, what do you think? I saw a mock up of a Steelers Batman jersey with Kenny Pickett. I'm so for it. I'm so for it, man.
I'm okay with it, man. I think the way the new jerseys will come out, they'll make it look better. It's got the golden triangle with the Batman thing. I'm okay with it if they do that. I
don't want 3/4 sleeves, though. That's the only thing I don't want to.
Yeah, I got a feeling because week 2 the Browns are wearing their whiteout jerseys, so that's been confirmed. So I think the Steelers will match that with some form of a color rush or a throwback.
So that's the other one I wanted to talk about. You brought it up there. Why the fuck is Myles Garrett a 98 in Madden and TJ Watt's 94? Are you serious? And I keep seeing this. The best pass rusher in the AFC in the NFL this year is Myles Garrett. Why? The guy's never done anything as much as TJ. It does my fucking head in.
Madden, for me, and I know you've got a different game with the PS5, right? But to me, Madden's bad now. And the fact that they're breaking down...
Just rate the guy what he deserves. He's the best pass rusher in the NFL.
It's because TJ got injured last year, obviously. That's why.
It doesn't matter.
But also, there seems to be some narrative around Myles Garrett this year that he's the best in the game. And he had 16 sacks last year.
I'll tell you what he does. I bet he does his ankle 2 quarters in against the Steelers. Nostradamus here. Nostradamus.
Who's going to verse him in week 2? Is it going to be he's on the right hand side, right? So it'd be left tackle.
Yeah. Well, Dan Moore usually deals with him.
So I'd say I think he's a good player.
Not a kind of thing though. I love it to be Broderick Jones, right? And Broderick Jones just grabs him, and when no one's looking, just gives him fucking cracks his ribs.
Just right in the skull.
Oh, how I've managed to not. Like I've imitated the F word like 9 times. And
then you were really aggressive.
I just drop it.
You were just like, you know what? Yeah, no holds bar.
At 10:32 on a Thursday night. Good luck.
No, I agree with you because the Madden ratings I don't really care about, to be honest. But in saying that, why are you rating the TJ train? No one.
But I'm using that as a case in point that like. I keep hearing all this stuff about the Browns and Myles Garrett, and I just don't get it.
But it's happening a lot. It's the new narrative this year is that this Myles Garrett is the best pass rusher in the game. Out on the outside.
We heard that 2 years ago. We did nothing. What about that game when he said to Big Ben he'd put Big Ben's career in the grave and he didn't touch him?
He didn't touch. Didn't he wear like a grave digger thing on the back or something like that?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Anyone who does things like that, it's not going to happen. Like,
but it's not going to happen because then the head's not in the game.
Mm.
You're not there. You're not focused and locked in. Like,
he doesn't. I don't think he makes. You don't see him make big plays. You see him make sacks, but never really big plays to stop the game. Or change the game. So TJ will have a bounce back year, I think, for the Steelers, and I don't see Garrett doing too much with us anyway. We'll be too busy with our protection and passing the ball down the field, or even running past him to make any sense. He won't be defensive player of the year. It's not going to happen. So Madden, you're crazy in that scenario.
So when this video comes out, will be the night before, 2 nights before training camp. I think my dates. It starts at the 24th, I think, isn't it?
Training camp is 26. So next Thursday.
So we've got a few more days. Anything this week as we get really close to that you have been thinking about in terms of training camp? And like, I know we talked so much about training camp, but is there someone that you think's flowing under the radar that could be like the big difference maker? Like that at training camp might just steal the headlines out of nowhere and surprise some people.
I still go back to the middle linebackers, actually. I still think if Holcomb and Roberts are better than what people perceive to be. Like I'm talking some of people's perceptions are like, we still need to go get a linebacker. It's like, how many moves do you want Omar Khan to make? He's going to run out of ink on his pen. You know what I mean? I think he's made enough moves, right? How many do you want? You have a team now. can't we just be happy with the team? I want to see them make some moves that is like, interceptions or some big tackles or some big, like, outstanding plays. You're like, oh, wow, they're checked in. If I see that from those two in the communication, if I hear the coaches talking about they're working well together, they're gelling, and then we have a preseason game or the real season game, I'm like, okay, that's the two. Those are the two starting. We have our team.
We need to see two blokes that are happy to be here.
Just pretty much, man. But why is it that since they've been signed, the day they've been signed, Holcomb and Roberts, that Roberts is a veteran. He's won 2 Super Bowls with the Pats, right? I know he's old. I know he's a bit slower. But since the day they signed, all the guys on Twitter are saying they need to get rid of him or they need to get someone else in. At what point do you just go with what you got? That's what I think you have to do.
That's the thing is Holcomb is a lot more athletic than people give him credit for. That's the one that I'm really high on, and I think a lot of people have just written Holcomb off, and I'm like, no, actually, watch the tape. Watch the tape. Like,
he's a captain. Hasn't played yet. He's physical, can tackle. Hasn't played yet at all. Same with the other bloke too. And what
would you rather? Could it actually be worse than last year?
It can't be. Surely not. The only bloke trying was Miles Jack. He was trying to make tackles, and he was always playing cover up. Then Devin Bush came over and played 2-end touch. He was getting tackles from 3 meters away. Mink would come down, make a tackle, Kazi would make a tackle, and Devin Bush would be like, oh, what happened? Did we get him yet? Oh, yeah. Bang.
And just complain in the locker room that fans don't understand.
Yeah. So it's a big difference, mate. And then the fact that the coaches did something about this year, they've got a new linebackers coach in Aaron Curry coming in from Seahawks. And even he said in an interview that he's realized what he did with his Seahawks. And now he's a coach, wants to be different, looks better. So I think that to me is something I want to see, that I want to see some good, maybe some positive articles on them to give them a better light than what they have. Because right now, the light for me is people are like, oh, we need someone else to come in. Do we really need to? Sure, it'd be great. The Isaiah Simmons, whoever. Someone's talked about Reuben Foster from USFL. I'm happy with these blokes here. Because
I don't want to see that. I'm sorry, I'm not in on that take.
But that's what I keep hearing is that they need to bring someone else in. I don't think you need to bring someone else in.
No, you only bring someone else in if you have someone that's cut that you honestly think can help this team, and that person's going to have to be a coverage linebacker.
Like be a game changer.
I don't get it. But one thing I did say when you were off with Shannon White was that, like, if this team is having problems in the middle after, let's say, 3 or 4 games, Omar Khan won't be afraid to make a trade to bring someone in. That's something he will do. Like, they're locked in on winning. Like, that'll be like his, Colbert Minka moment, like I can see that.
Oh, I guess the other thing too is probably trying to get Joey Porter to sign his contract before the week as well.
Yeah, I don't really read much into that. I don't really.
It happens every year though.
I also think Joey Porter's doing a bit of a. Well, I wonder if there's a bit of a. Well, I should have been in the first round and I got picked at 32. I doubt it. I think it's just, It's just if he doesn't want to play, he doesn't want to play. But there's other guys that can step in. So, we've got Wallace, we've got Peterson. I like Trice at number 3. Like Kazi's there in the like it's your loss. And Trice could have been higher. Trice has a lot of the same traits. The only difference is Trice had injuries and he didn't play didn't have necessarily the pedigree of Porter, and he didn't play at as notable a college as Porter. So, like, if Porter wants to play that game, he can, but it might not work out well for him.
But even saying that, it might not even be a game, because right now it's a story until it's not. The same
exactly.
With Alex Highsmith. 100%. Until they sign and we go, oh, now what do we complain about?
Totally. So,
mate,
I thought you talked about this so much.
Legends.
Are we doing it?
Legends. Well, okay, you got to define what legends are, though. What I'm allowed to choose from.
You're allowed to pick anyone that's ever played for the Steelers, and you get to pick an 8th player. So, for those that haven't seen one of our shows, the other week we picked an NFL street team, 7-on-7, both sides of the football. We're doing the 8 players. Mark, I think I kind of won when we had the fan voting, so you can go first. But we pick an 8. You get an X Factor extra player, but it can't be.
I'm picking first?
You're picking first.
I can't go past Debo. I got to get Debo, mate. I'd be cut if you got Debo. I don't care. I need Debo on my
Where's
side.
Debo playing?
Debo is going to play. He's playing, left defensive line and left tackle. That's facts right there.
I'll take you straight into it too.
Well, I don't want you to get him. He's my favorite. Love him. He's the best. Oh no, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. There's so many though. This is gonna be like really hard.
Yeah, I know.
Also, my memory's going crazy right now. All right, Jack Lambert at linebacker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where's he playing on?
I don't know. I just chose it because I was like, I see that face, that crazy face. Where do I put him on? We'll put him at center. That will do.
Oh yeah,
He's big. He's big enough for center. And I was too quick though. I was like, okay. I've got to calm down a bit. I've got to calm down. You put him half. You put Troy halfback.
Where else is he gonna go?
Ooh, that reminds me when he's run. When he ran back the ball, and he threw the ball backwards like a big pitch.
Yeah.
That game. All right. Who's your next one? I was thinking Hines too, man. I was thinking Hines. At DB. I really need I need the Steelers all-time roster. It's hard to think on top of the on your noggin. I'm trying to think of other. So like we're going back to like the 70s too, aren't we?
You can put anyone you want. Anyone you want.
I have to go Mean Joe. I'll go Mean Joe.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts.
So my line's set pretty much.
That hurts.
Wait, who's gonna play D? But hang on a minute, who's gonna play DL and? Oh, I think I might have stuffed up. I've got no one for DL in the middle. Okay, who you got?
This is a hard one, actually.
I need to get the roster out. I've got to think. Oh, Mark, you're not a real fan. Yes, I am. Oh, hang on, I got one next. Did you choose anyone yet? Casey, big snack. I like that. You like that? That's a good one. It's interesting we haven't chosen any quarterbacks yet.
No.
Okay. So I've got the line there. I'm gonna go Rod Woodson at cornerback.
Okay.
And receiver. So my defense is on fire right now.
You're throwing your eggs in that basket.
I always get that route, man. There's so many players though.
This is a hard one, actually. Oh, that's really hard. No, I got to do it. You're stuffed.
Minka, you got two safeties? You're playing two safeties?
I'm playing them, man. Yeah,
you're playing two together?
Yeah.
Jeez. Minka and Troy together.
I know. You're done.
So who would you play? So would you play Hines Ward on cornerback?
Yeah, I was tempted to put him at LB, but yeah, actually Hines is probably going to be my LB.
All right.
Maybe he might move back.
You know what? I'm going to go old school again. I'm going to go, but this is where I get in trouble at certain positions because I've just done the same thing I did last time. Franco Harris at running back.
I struggled to look past Bettis, but
yeah, it's true.
Where's Franco playing?
Well, I don't know. Safety? Maybe? I can't put him DL.
This is where I stuff linebacker and move Harris, move Lambert to safety.
Actually, you know what I'll do? But Lambert will be good at middle linebacker.
You picked him. You just got to find a place for him.
I'll put Franco Harris at safety.
Okay.
That's an upgrade from Warren from last time. You know what I mean? So, and we got two left. That's the hard part, is choosing for both sides. That's a good one too. You got Big Snake and Big Cameron Hayward.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
CCs. You wrote the CCs up.
What have I got now? I've got, oh my goodness, I got to fill DL and a cornerback, and I got to fill quarterback and a receiver. So, this is going to be crazy. Actually, who would be the better pass rusher, Big Ben or Terry Bradshaw?
Ooh.
You think? Who's going to verse Casey Hampton?
No one.
I'm going to go.
There's other quarterbacks. Remember, this is like an NFL street. Like,
all right, I got an idea. You gave me an idea. I'll go Randall L at quarterback and cornerback.
ooh.
You gave me the idea for that.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I got to find a DL and a receiver.
Okay. I'm gonna go.
Wait, did Randall L play that much as quarterback? I could have went. That was dumb.
I know I'm spelling Villanueva wrong, but anyway.
Hang on. Hold up. Wait a minute. I could have went Stewart for quarterback.
That's what I thought you were going to go with, but I haven't picked him. You can always swap them.
All right. Can I put Randall at receiver? I'll put him there. Even though I probably could have got someone better. I could have got Antonio Brown. You know what? I can't choose Antonio Brown anymore. He makes me feel ugh. Oh, you want to lock me into Stewart? I don't know if I want Stewart yet. I don't know. Hang on. Let me see.
Hang on.
I need a quarterback. Who else can I put at quarterback? Who is like someone that Wait a minute. Who can I really offend people with?
Neil O'Donnell. Dick Shiner.
Is it who's the other bloke that we had? You know what? I'm gonna see if you can spell
Landry
this.
Jones.
Bruce Gradkowski. Can you spell that?
I probably could. Is that really who you want?
I don't know, but I stuffed up because I don't know how to put a DL. You know what I mean? Nah, I'm not gonna have him.
I put Harris there. I think you're right. I think I'd put Harris there. We'll do a second Legends.
You know what? No, you know what I'm gonna do? If we're playing, yeah, I'm gonna keep Stewart there playing straight. That makes sense.
Okay,
that makes sense. And then I guess he can play DL as well.
Now I got a tough choice. Oh, he's gonna play DL, Stewart.
I guess was he slash for a reason.
Okay.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
We'll pick a second team.
Franco could play that too, actually. Franco could play.
I got a tough choice now. I got to pick Big Ben
or Kenny or Terry.
But I'm not going to pick any of the names you mentioned.
I thought that. That's a smart one too. He was fun in street, dude. He was quick. Yeah. So I've made the common mistake again.
The fans can vote on this one.
Well, I made the common mistake, and the common mistake was filling the defensive line first.
You do it every time. All right, we'll do the Legends 2. You can't pick anyone that you've picked before.
I can't remember anyone.
The show. I just love this. We could do this every single show. I would never get.
Oh, you go first. I got to think of a different strategy.
Can you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first because I keep filling out the defensive line, then getting stuffed up.
Really? So you sure you want me to go first?
Where are you going to go? Are
you sure you want me to go first?
I don't know who to pick.
Okay. As long as you're really sure you want me to go first.
We're choosing different players, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, give it a crack. See how you go. Gives you time to think.
All right. Pardon?
I went first last time.
That's fine.
Ooh. Brown. You're going Brown, aren't you?
I had a really good player before, and I was like, they slipped my mind just before. I'm like, damn it.
I've got the roster. Bettis. Oh yeah, I like that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember who I'm picking now.
Okay, I got an idea now. I got an idea what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try and focus on linebacker. What?
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to go. This. No, I don't think it makes. No, this makes sense or not.
If
Yeah,
you
stuff
pick the
it.
player that I'm thinking of, I'm going to be really cranky. Out of every Steelers player, if you pick the player,
Like a linebacker.
I'm not telling who. I'm just saying if you happen
I
to
was
pick the
gonna.
player,
I was gonna go just because it's like straight. I'm gonna go Joey Porter.
which one?
The one that tried to fight people on the bus. the one they got shot in Denver.
Where's he playing on offense?
Halfback. Don't know why. I was trying to link. I was trying to link the linebacker and the halfback connection together. Pouncey. Yeah, that's a good pick. We didn't see Bettis behind Pouncey, did we? Didn't see it, did we? No, that never happened. Okay, so I've got linebacker, halfback. What about receiver? If I look at the old bit, there's how many players we had in the far has been a lot of players. Who should I go? That's too hard to do. Wait a minute. Do I go like an easy one like Gunnar Olszewski? Or no, let's go.
Ryan
You know
Switzer,
what?
electronic football man.
For this one, I'll go Martavius Bryant.
Yeah, that's a good
receiver. He was
what's he going to play? Corner.
Corner, yeah. And then I'll get back some other. I've said legends, but like he's not overly a legend, is he?
Not really. Okay, that's an interesting one. Ooh, where does that leave me? Ooh, DB, HB.
I've got. Oh no! You took my idea. Tell you what I was gonna do.
Yeah,
I was gonna draft Big Ben, put him at left tackle, and then draft Kenny, which would really piss off Big Ben, and that would make him be so angry to play left tackle. You know what I mean?
I love that.
That's a good move right there. I'm gonna go one of the older fellas too, back in the day on the 70s team. I think Lynn Swan. I think I'll put him in there too.
Ah, damn. Okay.
Yeah,
I think I'll put him in. Is he going busy playing corner?
Yeah, playing the corner too. What an odd lineup. Joey Porter, Bryant, and Lynn Swan. Now I've got a receiver heavy with no quarterback.
That's it, man. Well, I had to go one of my favorite players of all time. If you were going to do that.
Stallworth too. Yep, nice. Then let's go quarterback. I reckon. Are we doing Terry now? Like Terry, and he's like 2023 Terry? Or are we doing Terry back in the day? Gunslinger.
He can do gunslinger.
Yeah, so back in the day, I'm going to Terry Bradshaw at quarterback, playing straight. These would be actually fun if they ever made a Legends game. This would be fun to choose these players.
Yeah, man.
And play with them. So let's do Terry there. And then I just got to feel like the offensive. Yeah. And we'll put Terry at safety. That's the part I always struggle with is safety. Every time. Yeah, I like that. He's a good one too, man. He's a fun player, wasn't he?
Yeah,
I should have picked. I'm not going to tell you because it was another good player too.
You did this one of your last times too. You got locked in and you had to pick everyone in the line.
Yeah. Let's go. Did you choose Alan Faneca for the other one?
No.
Let's go Alan Faneca.
I should have.
Put him in there. Put him in there somewhere.
That would be a good pick. That would have been a good pick.
That
would have been a good pick.
Yeah, that would do. The big fella. I think he was in Street actually. I don't think he was in the 2004 Street. Yeah, he was. He would have been 2014. So was Maddox as well, Tommy Maddox.
Who I'm picking?
Nah. Oh, Key. Oh, well, you put it on the offensive line. I didn't know what it was. Yeah, Key's good too. What have I got left? DL. I've got. Who do I want to? Did you chose Casey, didn't you, as well? Can you Google Steelers all-time roster? There's a picture for Heath Miller. It's not Heath Miller. I'll tell you that. Have you seen this? Have you ever seen that?
No.
Try it. If you got time right now, Google it. It's not him.
I don't want it to crash, but I will.
Okay, after. If you guys at home, you can Google Heath Miller. If you get the same version I got, it's nothing like what I know. So I need guys on the line, right? I'll go LC Greenwood. Not that I know too much about him, but I know it's gonna help out my line. I know he's a good player. They're the one they say they want him to be in the Hall of Fame, right? That should be in the Hall of Fame.
All right, I got to pick one guy left, and it's going to affect my whole team depending on how I do this.
Who you got, mate? Who you got? Pressure. You're going off the top of your head, aren't you? I'm looking at all time.
Yeah, no, I'm going off the top of my head. Okay.
Wait, what are you choosing receiver?
Huh?
You choosing receiver?
I need a running back and I need a cornerback.
Did you just move Bettis to O-line?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to go. Oh, it's a hard one. You know what? Just because it would be lights out with them. No.
Holmes at halfback.
Well, no, he's wide receiver.
Who's your
halfback? Wait, I can't do that. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm calling that back. I'm calling that back. I'm going because I need a DB. That's my problem. I need a DB. I'm gonna go. Oh, this is dumb. What am I doing?
Blunt, as in safety?
Yeah,
it was cornerback, right? Sorry, cornerback. Yeah,
but you can play both.
All right, we need a center. Hooly dooly. My team does not have that many legends in it, so it got harder than I thought. What centers left?
It was hard not to pick DeCastro instead of Kiesel, but I needed someone to rush.
I think people will be annoyed at me if I don't choose Mike Webster as center. He's another legend that was part of the 70s team, right?
Yep.
Because I don't think Brian's a legend. I just think he's just very skillful.
It's funny that you've picked a lot more of the older guys than I have. It's kind of funny.
Well, it's because I was Googling them.
So, still, listeners, you've got to pick. You can pick 1A for me. That's Mike Vick, Hines Ward, Minka, Troy, Villanueva, Hampton, and Haywood. Or you can pick 1B for Mark, which is Cordell Stewart, Franco Harris, Rod Woodson, Randall L, Debo, Mean Joe Green, or Jack Lambert. I was mixing Joe and Lambert up together. Or you can vote 2A, which is me, with Big Ben, Mel Blunt, John Stallworth, Ike Taylor, Jerome Bettis, Pouncey, and Brett Kiesel. Apologies if I spelled the name wrong. Or you can vote 2B, Bradshaw, Joe Porter Sr., Martavius Bryant, Lynn Swan, Alan Faneca, Mike Webster, and LC Greenwood. So tell us who won in the 1A versus 1B and 2A versus 2B, and which team you think would trounce everyone else.
I
kind of like 2A better. I kind of like 2A.
Yeah, I like 2A is pretty good. I like my 1B better than my 2B. I like the line. The Debo, Lambert, Mean Joe is insane. That's insane for a straight game.
Yeah, man.
The other one, I was just trying to pick plays from Google. It was really hard to do.
Well, that's not really what we're meant to do.
So, yeah.
But yeah, anything else you wanted to say before we wrap up this week's Steelers Touchdown Under, boys?
You guys are all great out there in Steeler Nation. It's okay. We're almost there. We're 1 week away from training camp. We're so close. It's time to get hyped, time to go crazy because this team, I think, is going to go to the playoffs. I think we have a chance to win some games. I think this team is when they signed Highsmith to a 4-year contract and they got that together, I think it's going to start happening.
There's no more questions now. They can just focus on getting stuff done now.
Yeah, those two fellas who are going to work as a duo. The defense is back. I think this team is so much better than 2020 and 21, 22. I think it's getting better every year. And we haven't even played
cool if they bring back the Batman jersey now, because then we've got the elite Robin in Highsmith, and then we can have
they will have to do something for that week too, because they're not going to go out in the normal uniform. If they're wearing it all white, we'll wear. I think I've been hearing that they might bring back the block ones, the block numbers for that game.
I love block numbers. We should bring them back.
They wear that. They might wear that, or they could wear the gold helmets as well. The gold helmets come out.
Yeah, I'd rather just.
Not a fan. They've got to wear something. That. They can't just let. I don't think they're going to let the Browns wear all white and then Steelers just wear their normal home. They'll have to wear something. Color Rush. I'm kind of like Color Rush too. I'm like, it's been fun for a few years, but I don't know if the players are still buying in on it. It's now 7-2. Do you still keep going with that? But something's going to happen.
I don't know. I'm part of the person that broke the streak. So
against the Bills.
Yeah. Yeah.
So. Yeah, no, man.
I'm keen. With that, we'll wrap up this week's episode of Steelers Touch Down Under. Mark and D, as always.
Go Steelers. Here we go.